This is your morning brief, day traders, and it is outright carnage this morning. So be very careful. My noon hour video yesterday, I didn't even do an evening video because the way the markets closed yesterday did not fit with my thesis on the markets. I told everybody to be very careful taking any longs in the overnight, and boy, my concerns were justified. Uh, right here, right now, it looks like the indices might be getting a little bit ahead of the VIX. We have a VIX of 23. We've already sold off 430 points on the Dow. Uh, it's really hard to press these markets lower whenever a 2% move on the VIX is typically around 24. So whenever you have your VX futures trading not in tandem with the sell-off, it does suggest that we might be getting a little oversold here on this early market action. Now I'm doing my video a little bit earlier than normal. I figure I might take a morning nap before the markets open, and I've not actually waiting for the main markets to open. But I can see that we might see some responsive buying in the markets right around the 6 a.m. area, coming off of some of these panic lows that's happening over in the foreign equities markets. So something to keep on your radar. Basically, we are at the midpoint for S2. We're catching a little bit of buying here. So this is an area that could see some responsive buying. We do need to see VIX deteriorate this morning, in my opinion, to suggest that we're going to be coming down to the 25.56 area. That's the daily S2. So just keep that in mind that be really careful trying to press your shorts here, because I think we're kind of a little overextended. Your NQs, first of all, if you've been following my videos, the ES has already broken the 2009 bullish uptrend, and we've been trading right below it all week long. So we're putting in value outside of the primary bullish trend. So that is a very negative situation anyway. Well, the NQs right here, right now, are trading right at the bottom line of the range. Okay, so keep this in mind. Quite a bit of risk here. We are right back to Monday lows, and this is not a very good situation. Um, and we are on the S2 middle on it too. So daily S2. So, and technically, the middle ones do not hold generally. I'm just the divergence with the VIX. I don't think the VIX is quite as high as it should be relative to the sell-off. So that's why I'm kind of thinking we're going to get a bounce. But typically, you want to see a solid breakdown to a main pivot point, and that would put us down to the 62.95 area uh, at the open if uh, if the VIX were to start catching a bid here. So keep that in mind. I do not think we're out of the woods one bit. And as far as value areas go, same way with the ES, we've been putting in pretty much. We closed right back inside of value yesterday, and we're immediately rejecting it. Every single time we get up in value here this week, we are rejecting it. The either at the close or at the open each day this week. This third day this week. So we definitely prices are getting accepted below last week's accepted value ranges. So very dangerous situation for the markets here. And then we're going to finish look at our YM. And I can't do the Russell because I don't have the Russell futures anymore. Toss Thinkorswim quit using them, or quit offering them because they cost too much to. The IC was charging too much for them. But at any rate, your Dow's still looking. We got a downtrend we're in with the Dow Jones, and I know it looks horrible, this sell-off, but in the broader context of the downtrend, uh, it's not like the Dow's pushing out of a significant range here, uh, and it's holding up a little bit better. But then again, you have to keep in mind a lot of the tariff exposure is going to impact the Dow stocks more than other sectors. So if any area is going to show even more relative weakness at the open, it's probably going to be your Dow Jones. Just keep that in mind. And like the others, we're breaking away from the weekly value, and we're back down here building out value at lower levels, and we're at the S2 mid on that one too. But that, very strong possibility we're coming down to the 23,400 area this morning, and that's going to give us a sell-off close to 550 points on the Dow, or 600 points on the Dow probably here at the open this morning. So just keep these in mind, some different levels that lots and lots of risk, and chasing for a bounce here, you're playing with dynamite. And we actually had a draw on crude inventories last night on the API, but yet crude is just imploding today. And it's already to the S2, breaking down below the S2. We're halfway to the S3 support area. And there is a very important technical reason. This is a technical breakdown. And let me go to TradingView and show you what's happening. Okay. Now on WTI, what's happening here? This is not a live chart. The markets are closed, so you're not seeing the overnight session sell off. But what's happening is this key fib fan zone, we outright are rejecting it, and we are breaking down in the pre-market. So definitely it looks like the WTI is going to be coming down to under 4 today. I won't know the actual values until the markets opens at 9:30. But my point is, so that puts us back to the lows of March 16th. If I go back to my other chart here, and we look back to March 16th, go on my daily here. If I go on my daily here, to give us a little perspective, March 16th. So we are coming down to these lows right here. That's going to be the 6120 area for the crude potentially here, for us to find some support since this breakdown's happening. So we have this trend line here that we're definitely well within range that we're going to tag it today. So there's a lot of a reason to think that the crude oil is going to also continue to fall at least until the 10:30 numbers this morning, when the crude inventories come out. So lots of reason to think the markets are in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. I'm not going to go through the individual stocks at the open today for the main reason that it's just outright carnage out there, and to try to pressure shorts knowing that what's been happening when we opened way down, they've been last week they were propping up the markets, selling off, taking the other side of the trade, and that there's a fairly decent chance that's going to continue today. That come into the markets with the VIX kind of undershooting what the sell-off is actually going on, that traders will probably come in here and try to prop up the markets a little bit, and that's just kind of a thesis that I'm looking at. But I don't think it's sustainable over the long term. But as far as the morning action goes, that's kind of what I'm thinking here, despite the fact that crude does seem to have a lot of downside risk coming into today. That's all I got to say. Hopefully my audio is much better today. I'm trying to put the mic closer to my face, and this PC, I think it's time that I'm just going to have to break down and buy me a new laptop. It got hot a couple weeks ago, and now my mic's not working properly. Good luck trading. Be sure and leave comments at the bottom. I want to hear your take on the markets, and I appreciate you guys following me and watching my videos. Thanks a lot.